Hi there, how are you? So hopefully you're fine. And welcome to our K2B maths class that today we're going to learn about sharing among three. So about sharing among three you have learned in the previous lessons, but because we have more exercise for you to practice in your textbook, and today we're going to learn more and more about sharing among three. So the reason why that we learn about sharing among three, because we want all of you, especially your kids, know how to share things with others. For example, or share things with your brothers or sisters. For example, you have mango, or you have food, or you have any fruits that your mom wants you to share equally to your brother and to your sister. So you can learn from the lesson how to share with other people equally. That's why we teach you about how to share. Especially here we focus on sharing among three, refer to three group or three people. Okay, now let's go to the lesson together. So over here, sharing among three, that we were going to learn about sharing the flies, or over here we can say the food, okay, the food or flies to the frogs. That we have not only one and not only two, but we have three frogs. Okay, we have three frogs, and we have some flies, but I don't know how many flies, that we're going to share all these flies to three frogs. Okay, so you can look at the picture, and then also we can go to the questions before we marching or sharing. So the question here, we have three questions. We have question number 1 right here, question number 2, and question number 3. So question number 1 is, how many frogs are there? How many frogs are there? Okay, again, how many frogs are there? So here there are frogs. So how many frogs? So the first one, you need to know the amounts of the frogs first. So how many frogs? 1, 2, 3, right? So how many frogs are there? There are 3 frogs. So you complete over here first. There are 3 frogs. Okay? And the second question is, how many flies are there? How many flies are there? So we count the flies first. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many flies are there? So the answer is there are 6 flies. There are 6 flies. And the last question is, how many flies does each frog get? So how many flies does each frog get? So this is a really hard question, but it's easy if you go and look at this example. Now we know already that we have 3 frogs, right? 3 frogs. So I will make a box for frog number 1. I will make a box for frog number 2, and I will make a box for frog number 3. Okay, so 1 box for each frog. And here we know that there are 6 flies. 6 flies that we're going to sharing among 3 frogs, right? So the first one, we just go to the first fly by crossing out. Okay, 1, we cross 1, and we put here 1 fly. Okay, 1 fly, and we cross another 1 fly, and we put in this box. Okay, and we start crossing it, and we put in this one. Okay, and then we start for the first one and put to the first one again. Okay, and do the same, and put to the box of this frog. And this one is the last one. After crossing out, you put in this box as well. So look. So are there any flies left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no more, right? So this means that you already share among 3 group of people, or 3 people. And we go to the question again. How many flies does each frog get? So we go to the box number 1 right here. How many flies does a frog get? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So get 2, right? And we go to this box 2. We count 1, 2, 1, 2. So this frog also get 2. And we go to this box 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So get 2. Is it 2? Yeah. Is it 2? Is it 2? So can you answer the question number 3? How many flies does each frog get? So each frog gets how many flies for each group? 2. The answer is 2, right? So each frog gets 2 flies. Okay, 2 flies, 2 flies, and 2 flies. So here are the answers. Okay, here are the answers. There are 3 frogs. There are 6 flies. Each frog gets 2 flies. So that's it for sharing among 3. And anyway, before we saying goodbye, I also have exercise for you to do on page 42. So please, after watching this lesson, please go to your K2B maths textbook and open on page 42. That you're going to do your first exercise. So over here, you exercise on page 42 that sharing among 3. So over here we have frogs. I don't know how many frogs. So just count the frogs and complete the box right here. So there are frogs. So complete here after counting. And then flies. Here there are many flies, but I don't know how many flies. So you need to count the flies carefully. You need to pay attention. You're careful with your counting, okay? So count the flies and then complete the box right here. There are flies. So how many flies are there? And you need to share the flies or these flies among 3 frogs. And after sharing, you need to complete the box right here. How many flies does each frog get? So each frog gets flies. So how many flies? So please do it. So this is the first exercise that match to your sharing among 3. So that's it for the first video for sharing among 3, and see you in the next video. So hello my K2B maths class. So welcome to our second video for the lesson today, that we're going to learn about grouping in 3s. But before going to grouping in 3s, I want to review what you have learned in the first video. So your first video you learn about sharing among 3. So sharing among 3 refers to the way that you share things with 3 people, or 3 groups, okay? So here there are 3 boxes, like box 1, box 2, and box 3. And over here we have flies, but I don't know how many flies. But you need to share the flies to 3 groups, or to 3 people. So this means sharing among 3. So the first one, you need to cross the fly. After cross, you need to put right here. Okay, you need to put right here. And you cross one more, you need to put the box in the box 2. And you cross one more, you need to put in the box 3. And cross again and put in box 1. And cross another one and put in the box 2. And put the last one and put in the box 3. So after you sharing among 3, you will know that how many flies does each one gets. So number 1 get 2, box number 2 also get 2, but number 3 also get 2. So the answer is each person get 2 plies. So each box get 2 plies for each. So when you know how to share among 3, you really know how to share things or your equipments or anything to everyone or to people equally. Okay, that's why we taught you about sharing among 3. So that's it for review about sharing among 3. And now we're going to learn about grouping in 3s. Alright, so grouping in 3s you all already learned as well in the previous lessons, maybe last 2 weeks or last week, I think. And this one, that's why the reason why that we learn it again today, because we have more exercise for you to do to make sure that you understand and know the lesson pretty well before we move on to another chapter or another lessons. So this is very important. And grouping in 3s, we want you know how to group things in particular amounts, like the same amounts and equally. That's why we learn about grouping in 3s. So let's go to the example together. So look over here. What's this? What's this? Can you answer what's this? Is it a cow? Is it a dog? Is it a dog? Or is it a cat? Yeah, you're right. It is a snail, right? It's a snail. It's not a dog, it's not a cat, it's not an elephant, but it is a snail, right? And look, what's this? Wow, it is, they are the eggs of the snail, right? The eggs, you know, eggs. Here, you already learned the eggs. The eggs of a snail. So one snail produces a lot of eggs. But now we're going to learn how to group the eggs into 3, okay? So 3 eggs in one group. So how can we do it? Okay, so now we will learn together, but before going to the example here, we go to the question first. So the question here, we have 2 questions. How many eggs are there? So the first one, you need to count our eggs first. How many eggs are there? So count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many eggs are there? The answer is there are 12 eggs. So you complete right here. There are 12, 1 and 2 become 12. 12 eggs. There are 12 eggs. You're right. Now we go to the question number 2. How many groups of eggs? How many groups? How many groups? Can you answer that? No, you can't. Why? Because we haven't done the example yet. So we need to group in 3s first before answering the question. So start doing it together. So grouping in 3s means that we need to group one group. There are 3. Okay. So go together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we start grouping. 1, 2, 3. Okay. One group. One group. Right here, one group. We already did one. And then do one more. 3. Okay. Do one more 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 2. Yeah, plus one more, right? Plus one more. And then do another group. They have 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3. Okay, plus one more. Yeah, plus one more. And do one more. 1, 2, 3. 3. Yeah, plus one more. So how many groups can you answer? Yeah. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. So how many groups are there? there are 4 groups of eggs. Okay, so over here there are 4 groups of eggs. So here is the answer. And you wonder why we group only 3? Because your lesson is focused on grouping in 3s. Okay, so that's it for grouping in 3s. Now before saying goodbye, please go to your another exercise in your maths book on page 43. Okay, so on page 43 over here is your exercise that grouping in 3s. Grouping in 3s, that's similar to your lessons. So over here have also a snail. They have many eggs, but not the same right here, but have different eggs, like more eggs than the lesson. So what you have to do is you need to grouping in 3s. One group there are 3 eggs, one group there are 3 eggs. You grouping again and again after you finish all eggs, and then you need to count like what I have taught you, and then you complete the box right here. There are groups of eggs. So how many groups of eggs? Okay, how many groups of eggs? Please count or grouping in 3s and complete the answer right here. So that's it for your exercise on page 43 and your lesson for video 2. And thank you for your watching, and see you in the last video. Good afternoon everyone. So welcome to our last part of your lesson for K2B maths. So I want to summarize what you have learned from the first and second video that you already learned about sharing among 3 and grouping in 3s. So sharing among 3 refer to the way that you share things to 3 people, or 3 group of people. Like you're sharing food, sharing any items. And over here is your homework about sharing among 3, that after you learned, practice the lesson, also the exercise from the first video. So here is your homework that you need to share the ice creams. Here ice cream, like I don't know how many ice cream are there, but you need to share ice cream to 3 group of people right here. So 3 group of people right here that you need to share equally to A, to B, and to C. You can practice use the method or the way that I taught you, and you can share among 3. And after sharing among 3 here, you need to complete the box right here. Each box gets ice cream. So how many ice cream that each box get? So you need to complete here. If you complete the answer correctly right here, means that you understand the whole lesson about sharing among 3. And this is also your homework that you already learned about grouping in 3s. Refer to the way that you need to group one group. There are 3 things. Okay, there are 3 in one group. So over here I have how many butterflies? I don't know how many butterflies, but you need to count carefully. So here there are many butterflies. So you need to group butterflies in 3s. It means one group. Okay, one group there are 3 butterflies. 1, 2, 3, and you need to group it until you finish all butterflies. One group there are 3 butterflies, and after that you need to count the groups. How many groups are there? Then you need to complete right here. There are groups of butterflies. So how many groups? If you want to know, please do it. So that's it for your homework in your lesson, also your homework from sharing among 3 and from grouping in 3s. And thank you for your watching, for your paying attention and participation. So don't forget to do your task exercise and also your homework, and don't forget to read your book at home during this short vacation, and see you again in the next lesson. Bye.